I filmed an organic food operation in Argentina several years ago, and Jenny one time said, "Boy, it'd be great to quit my job and to uh, to do that as a business." And I kind of laughed about it. We both kind of laughed about it.
Basically, since I graduated from college, I've been doing the same job for a few different companies, but basically the same job in higher education textbook publishing sales. And there were a lot of positives to that job, but especially in the last few years, the nature of the job had changed significantly, and I really wasn't enjoying it as much as I had in the past or wanted to for my vocation, and decided to try to make an exit and do something that was more meaningful to me and risky, and one of those things that I didn't want to turn around, whether it worked or not, didn't want to turn around later in life and say, I wish I would have tried that.
And both of us had wanted to be in the food business. My brother's a chef. My grandmother had a restaurant.
We're both interested in the food business and the restaurant business and the service industry.
It's been in our family, an important part of our family for as long as we've been together.
This is a way to be involved in an industry and a profession that we're passionate about from a different angle, and hopefully that will be supplying food. What started as a joke of looking for a farm on Craigslist, we actually found one. We did eventually make an offer on it. Didn't quite come through, but it did lead us to find the farm that we bought and own today.
Yeah, we looked at, over the course of a couple of years, looked at somewhere around 25 or 26 properties, farms that had structures on it, some that had just raw land.
We just had a feeling when we came into the town of Viroqua, that this kind of town and the kind of community that we were interested in being members of.
Is a classic Midwestern agricultural town. It has amazing character. There's a co-op that was developed in the 90s, which is a true food co-op. It's got a very quaint little theater where they do performances and music. There's a public market. There's a ton of artists here. There's a huge wellness movement. It was in the middle of January. There was about 3.5 or 4 feet of snow on the ground, and we sat in the middle of this land and looked around and realized this is the place. No matter whether we were going to start the business or not, this was the land that we were going to buy.
So here we are. The land that we have now, it's been fallow for at least 30 years, as long as most people in the area can remember. And before that, it was used mainly as a cow pasture. So we're sitting on some incredibly rich, fertile land.
In some cases where we're sitting right here, there were, small trees and bushes and weeds that were 6 or 8 feet high. So we had to brush hog everything down first. And then from there, we had to till the land. And once we did that, we
Till it again.
We had to till it 3 times because it hadn't been worked in so long.
We have probably about 12 to 14 feet of topsoil. Things really want to grow in this. And that includes the weeds, but we deal with that as we can as well.
So once we acquired the land, we decided, okay, we've got this amazing parcel of land, so we split tasks. Jenny went on to take the Angelics Farm Beginnings class to get some basic knowledge that came from a working farm and a program that teaches this kind of thing. And then my job was to create the building. I designed something that was both functional and that would serve its purpose for a washing facility, a packing facility, and a storage facility, in addition to having a commercial kitchen in the building so that we could begin experimenting with the packaging of some of the produce here. To be able to sell to our clients year-round, we've created strategic partnerships with people that are hopefully 10 miles or so less or less from where we're at here. And those would include natural free-range bison, free-range chickens, certified organic eggs, certified grass-fed beef, and we have a provider that also does a variety of goat's milk cheeses.
For us as a business model, it's excellent because customers, like I said, they pay up front, so it gives us some working capital. But the people who do sign up are signing up to be surprised every week. I mean, they get a great newsletter with lots of recipes, but you can't choose, I'll have one of these and 3 of these and 6 of those. You get what's in the box and what's in season. We work very hard to give people really good information on how to handle and store and cook and prepare the items that we're giving. And we've gotten great feedback from people. So they feel really invested in what's happening at the farm. Bob worked very, very hard to establish a few very strong wholesale relationships where we are now selling to 3 major wholesalers that then sell to the restaurants. And that's worked out really well. It's allowed us to continue making our product available.
We knew we wanted to sell to chefs. It just became difficult to manage multiple relationships with the chefs, so we've chosen to work with wholesalers. And I think when that came into play, we realized we were going to have to add a lot of production, and we think that is a way to help change the landscape of the food business by working with people who can reach multiple restaurants, hotels, and institutions and schools. So we've gone down that path, and I think it's the first real year that we've taken it to a further level. We want to create an authentic farm-to-table restaurant, and so we're in the process of doing that now, planning that, drafting the concept and the plan that we'll be working on over the coming months.
From the beginning, had designed our building to include a licensed kitchen, which would allow us to process a lot of items that are coming off the farm that maybe have one little nick in them or more than we can use. So we've been experimenting with that. We do think eating seasonally is important in helping people understand what's in season when. And but again, I don't know many people who do it 100%. And if we can take these extra items and make them available to our customers, it also gives us a revenue stream to keep us in business and keep our employees employed during a time of year that for a vegetable farmer in the upper Midwest is a hard time to have cash flow coming in.
We have experimented with some farm-to-table events actually at the farm and also in Chicago, and the response has been phenomenal. And I think on the process of having dinners at the farm, agritourism and culinary tourism are both terms that are growing at a fast pace. There's associations for both of those things now, and we're positioned, our county is a wonderful place for things other than farming, fishing and hiking and biking and golf, and there's a bunch of great outdoor things to do. To come to a region like ours, experience the region, and also be able to have high-level food, white tablecloth settings right at the land. We made a decision that we wanted to create some kind of business that was around food, and we successfully have done that. And I think in the coming years, we're only going to refine it and grow it.
So there's this great ripple effect that by doing things like growing our CSA and having strong wholesale accounts that are interested in buying locally, we're not only keeping the farms in business, we're keeping this whole other sort of outer circle of people who help farmers stay in business, keeping them in business as well.